So I was working with a guy yesterday, I think it was, the day before, and this guy suffered with anxiety, which is the most common problem at the moment in when you're working as a therapist. Anxiety and depression are the two most common problems. Anyway, I was talking to this guy, and he kept saying, "I keep having these thoughts. What if this happens? What if that happens?" So we looked at what if. Why do we have these what if thoughts? I've said before on here, for me it's about control. If I start thinking, what if this happens, what if that happens, I'm trying to create all these scenarios so if they do happen, I feel like I'm prepared and I've got some control over the situation as well. There's also another theory that sometimes we create what if problems so we've got something going on in our lives, because if nothing was going on in our lives, we'd be left with just us, which is quite scary. A lot of people don't like being on their own. A lot of people, hi Emma, Emma's saying hello, hope you're okay. A lot of people don't like being on their own, so they create all these different scenarios around them, so they've got something to think about, something to concentrate on, even though they know these things are probably never ever going to happen. It's better than the thought of them being left on their own, which is quite scary. So another thing that I was saying helped this guy, he was on about his anxiety, and I quite often I'll use other clients I work with. Obviously I don't break confidentiality, but I'll give them examples of things that have helped other people. And I was telling him about this other client, and he said, "Oh, so there's people out there that are worse than me. They've got anxiety worse than me." And I said, "There's people out there with anxiety 10 times worse than you. I've worked with people that have got anxiety that was, wow, that's unbelievable." And it really helped this guy. And he said to me, "I know I feel bad about this, but it really reassures me to know that there's other people out there that are suffering with anxiety worse than me." But I got what he was saying. And I've called this little clip, "All You Need Is Love," because one of the things that helps me when I'm doing this, that's helped me through doing this work as a therapist, coaching, counselling, is I realised that a lot of the things that I didn't like about myself, a lot of my own fears, were actually from working with thousands of people now. I've realised that, so many people, pretty much every person has got the same fears, the same self-doubts going on, the same anxieties, the same feelings around depression and stuff like that. So I got what this guy was saying when he realised that other people suffered with anxiety worse than him. And I think that really, how you doing, Matty? Hope you're okay. That really helped me as well to realise that the things that I didn't like about myself were actually normal. And the vast majority of people felt the same way. And that really helped me to start working on, I've talked about self-love before, which is really important. When I talk about self-love to people, I've met some amazing people, and sometimes I'll ask them, they help loads of people, and I say to them, you obviously love other people, but do you love yourself? And they'll say, "I can't do that. I couldn't do that." But I think it's really important for us to realise, if you can love somebody else, then you can love yourself. And what is it that's stopping you from doing that? Is it these thoughts that you're different, there's something wrong with you? Because there's not. It's one of the reasons that I set up this little group. The work that I do myself and talking to other people is to get people to realise that you're normal. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing not to like. It doesn't mean that you can't change. You can't change your habits. But there's nothing not to like. I've also put a little post on here today about fear and how fear keeps us small, which I really believe it does. But the opposite to fear is love. And it's okay to talk about this stuff, and I think this is where a lot of people go wrong. Talking about it's not enough. We've got to feel it. You've got to feel the love, feel the love for yourself and feel the love for other people. If you can love your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife, your friends, your parents, that means that you can love yourself as well. And it's really important that we start to do that and start to learn how to love ourselves. So that's the message for today. But for me, it's about feeling it. Don't just listen to this clip. Don't just read all the self-help books. You know, I meet so many people that have done that. Every time they book a session with me, a new client, I've read the Chimp Paradox, I've read this, and this. That's all great, but the thing they're missing is they're not feeling it. You know, so we've got to feel this. So the message for today is feel the love. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to Emma and Matthew for saying hello. Hope everyone's okay, and hopefully speak to you soon. Take care.